to historic Larks Park and the 75th anniversary season of Hayes Larks Baseball. Tonight's contest is the middle game of a three-game series featuring the Denver Cougars and your Hayes Larks. The Larks come into tonight's game at 26-5 on the season, and at 14-3 are the 2021 Rocky Mountain Baseball League champions. The Cougars enter tonight's contest at 10-18-1 overall, 6-10 in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. Free admission for tonight's game has been made possible through the generous sponsorship of the A&A Cougars Incorporated Company and Herman Physical Therapy and Wellness. We greatly appreciate these generous people and their support of Hayes Larks Baseball. And now let's meet the starters for your Hayes Larks. Leading off and playing center field from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 12, Zach Henry. Batting second, the second baseman from Fort Hays State University, number 17, Cam Pearson. Batting third, the designated hitter from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 16, Wyatt Diffus. Batting fourth for the Larks from Fort Hays State University, the right fielder, number 21, Grant Schmidt. Batting fifth, playing shortstop from the University of Tennessee, number 22, Cortland Lawson. Batting sixth, playing third base from Kansas City, Kansas Community College, number 4, Palmer Hutchison. Batting seventh, the first baseman from the University of Texas at Arlington, number 15, Sam Crowell. Batting eighth, the catcher from Murray State Community College, number 7, Brady Evans. Tonight's 8th Street Liquor Bridge batter, batting ninth from the University of Nebraska, the left fielder, number 5, Tyler Palmer. Tonight making the pitching start for the Larks from Cochise Community College, number 26, Jose Velasquez. And in his 40th season with the Larks, please welcome the head coach, Mr. Frank Leo. The Larks pitching coach is Keith Harper. Assistant coach is Max McGuire. Ladies and gentlemen, here for tonight's ceremonial first pitch, please welcome Olivia Lecklider, representing Herman Physical Therapy and Wellness in Hayes. Here comes Olivia.
Down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to game number 32 of the 2021 Hayes Larks season, their 75th anniversary season. This is game 2 of 3 against the Denver Cougars, and Jose Velasquez is on the bump, making his 13th appearance of the season. Has a 1-1 count to get things started against Braden Duhant. This one misses outside. The Larks dropped their game last night. They won 14 of their last 15, and that 14-game winning streak ended by Denver last night. It was the longest winning streak in team history, too, as Duhant swings above this one. The Larks coming to this game 26-5 on the season. They're your Rocky Mountain Baseball League champions, defending their title from last year. They're 13-3 in the league. As for the Cougars, 10-17 this season, 6-10 in the league. They're in 5th place in the league that's been decided. 3-2 count to get things going here for Jose Velasquez. We'll go from the windup. The payoff pitch will miss outside, and Jose walks his 7th batter of the season. Jose is 6'3" freshman from Cochise College. He's a Phoenix, Arizona native, and is getting just his 2nd start of the season. He has had 11 straight appearances out of the pen, and now is getting on the mound in the first inning for the first time since June 5th. In this first and only start, he went 3 innings and won the game for the Larks, as it was scheduled to go 3-3-3 and get a win. If with that situation only have to go 5, but we'll give him the win. Other than that, he's 4-0 this season, has yet to lose a game, and has thrown 27 innings, striking out 26 guys, walking 11, He's allowed just 2 earned runs the entire summer, has an ERA of .52. That's the lowest on the team among guys who's thrown at least 20 innings. He has a whip of .63. He's had 3 saves in just as many opportunities. He's perfect in saves. And this one will roll between the legs of Palmer. Hutchison and Anderson is aboard for the 5th time in the past 2 games. Had a big game yesterday, batting in the second hole. And that one tough. Could have been a 5-4-3 double play. Instead, Palmer Hutchison has his second error in the past 2 games. After a great start to the season defensively. He's been great defensively, but past 2 days, he's given up a pair of errors against the Cougars. Larks had their fair share of errors yesterday. They had a total of 4. So there's 2 on with nobody out. Cougars in yesterday's game got 2 runs in the top of the first inning. Jose Velasquez wants to make sure they don't get any. It's Keen Awada, the shortstop, to the box now, batting the 3-hole. This isn't the first time the Cougars will face off against Velasquez. On June 19th, Jose went 3 innings and picked up his 3rd win of the season in 4 appearances against the Cougars. And in those 3 innings, he allowed just 1 hit, a walk, and struck out 4 guys. He started his first 11 innings of the season without a hit through those 3 starts, and then we were a couple innings into his 4th appearance before he gave up a hit. Chopper to Pearson. He tosses it to Lawson to Crowell for 6-3 double play, and we'll get that guy from the air off the base paths. Runner moves to 3rd, though, on the play. That's Duhan, and the Larks turn another double play.
The first baseman, number 11, Braden Koenig.
So I'll take us to Braden Koenig. That is the 30th double play the Larks have turned this season. Takes us to Braden Koenig, batting cleanup again. Denver, same starting lineup from yesterday's games, 1 through 9. Different defensive positions for a couple of guys, but 1 through 9, the order the exact same. Jose Velasquez throws a first pitch strike here to the first baseman. Koenig from North Dakota goes to Bismarck State Junior College. Has a 1-1 count. Went 0 for 3 yesterday and had 2 walks. Jose Velasquez on the mound. He has the 2nd most wins for the Hayes Larks, 4-0. Has the most saves and has the least amount of hits allowed, even though he's thrown 16 more innings than some of the other guys on the team. Just great numbers. It's been a great summer for Velasquez. He's been lights out, and Frank Leo and Keith Harper giving him his 2nd start of the season today. We'll go 2-1 in the count here with that runner in scoring position over at 3rd base. Larks defense straight up. Comes home, chopper up the middle. He puts it off his glove. Lawson waits on it. Throws a hard throw to Crowell, and a great play. It's a 1-6-3 ground out, and Cortland Lawson keeps that runner at 3rd, and the Larks hold the Cougars scoreless in the top of the 1st. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned into Larks Network. Bottom of the first we go here in Hays, Kansas. Zach Henry will lead it off for the Larks. Was out of the lineup yesterday and is carrying a 9-game hitting streak into the start of Game 2 of this 3-game series against the Cougars. Larks will have just 3 games left in the regular season after this one before heading to Wichita for the NBC World Series. And Henry will look to get aboard here to start things for the Larks. It's Isaac Siefkin on the mound for the Cougars. He's from Broomfield, Colorado, played at Holy Family High School. He's an Illinois commit. Larks had a player from Illinois last year on the team. It's our trusty first baseman for the NBC. 2 balls and a strike here. Harrison on deck with Divis in the hole for the Larks. We'll check out how the Larks line up after Henry's at-bats. Pop fly over the left field side, and it will go out of play. Hot night at the ballpark. We're well above 90 degrees, closer to 100 here. Slight breeze moving on from center field, but it really won't have much of an effect on balls, and really is not having the effect the fans desire to cool them off here at the ballpark tonight. Still a good turnout for some Larks baseball on this fine Saturday evening in north central Kansas. Henry sends a slow ground ball to the second baseman, Smith. He picks it up and throws to Koenig in time for out number 1. Let's check out how the Larks line up in this game. Henry from UTA leads it off. We'll go to Paris in the Fort Hays State Tiger at 2. Back to UTA at 3 with Wyatt Divis. Grant Schmidt, who's always at the cleanup spot, back there batting 4th. Lawson at 5th again today. Hutchison in 6th. And then 7, 8, 9, Crowell, Evans, and Palmer. That's how we line up behind Jose Velasquez. 1 away here after the groundouts. Siefkin on the mound. He's 0-1 this season through 3 appearances. Has thrown just 11 innings for Denver, striking out 18 guys, walking 8. 0-1 here. Pearson this season against the Cougars. He is 6 for 12. He scored 6 times, driven in 3 runs, walked 4 times, with a couple of doubles and a home run. This is the 5th time these teams have met up this season. Larks are 3-1 against Denver in 2021. Pop fly over to the right side. Koenig is at the warning track wall in foul territory, and it drops out of play. We'll go 1-2. Cam was out of the order yesterday, so he courtesy ran for Brady Evans, and in the process scored one of the 4 runs for the Larks. Chop over to the third base. Trumpold waits on it, fields it, throws across the diamond, but Cam Pearson is just too speedy. He'll get aboard on an infield single. That one just hung in the air too long. Trumpold had a nice throw, but Pearson's hustle was enough to get him aboard.
From the University of Texas at Arlington, the designated hitter, number 16, Wyatt Divis.
So we go to Wyatt Divis, a Larks veteran. Went 1 for 4 with a run in last night's game, also drove in a run. Larks are a team that have run-rolled 7 different games this season, but last night the story was Mason Martinez. 9 innings on the mound, 8 of them scoreless. Gave up 3 runs, and the 7 of them scoreless. Allowed 1 run in the 3rd inning. It was unearned, though, and then in the 9th inning, Larks put 3 back on the board, but fell short, losing by 4 runs. Look for the Larks to try and nab Martinez's arm heading into the NBC, since the Cougars will not be heading to Wichita with the hometown team. That would be a big get for the Larks. 1-1 to Divis. Pearson over there at first base. He is pretty aggressive, running, and there he goes, stealing second. The throw is high and slow, and he slides in under the tag from Iwata and puts himself in scoring position. Divis now with a 2-1 count. for Cam Pearson. That is stolen base number 14 this season. He has a success rate above 80%, now 14 out of 17. He has the third most stolen bases on the team, breaking his tie with Tyler Palmer. Fastball from Siefkin will miss outside. Hitter's count for the guy who's leading the Larks in slugging percentage, on base percentage, and batting average among guys who qualify. Pearson gets his lead at second base. He'll try and dance around and get in the head of Siefkin. Siefkin looks at him, and that's what Cam Pearson does. That's just something Cam does all the time, and Wyatt Davis picks up a walk. He led the Larks last year with 31 walks and puts himself on first base with his 19th walk this season. That's second on the team behind Lawson. So Davis walks on 5 pitches, and we go to the cleanup hitter, Grant Schmitz. Schmidt batted cleanup yesterday, went 1 for 3, had the Larks' lone hit of the game for a while, and drove in a run, but did not score. It was a 4-pitcher effort for the Larks yesterday. De Colati went 4 innings, had 1 earned run, but 6 runs scored on him. Tyler Palmer came in through the 5th and the 6th with 2 innings, allowed 2 hits and a walk. No earned runs or runs scored. Riggs came in, allowed a home run, 2 hits. One of those scored, obviously, with the home run. It was a solo shot from Anderson. He had 2 home runs in that game. Then Cade Brown came in for the 9th inning, and earned runs scored on him, and that added up for 8 runs for the Cougars. Martinez went all 9 innings on 106 pitches for the Cougars last night, striking out 10 different batters. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Schmidt, the Fort Hays State Tiger from Hastings, Nebraska. Pearson moves around at second base, and Siefkin goes home. Foul ball over to the right side. Will go 1-2 against Schmidt. Schmidt this season against the Cougars, he's gone 2 for 7 with through a trio of runs driven in, a run scored. One of his hits, a home run, also has a double. Larks have hit 6 home runs off the Cougars this season. And Schmidt will go down looking against Siefkin. Siefkin's 19th strikeout of the season. So we'll put 2 away and bring up Lawson to the plate.
Shortstop from the University of Tennessee, number 22, Portland Lawson.
Lawson had his 17-game on-base streak ended in last night's game, going 0 for 3, getting struck out 3 times. So he'll look to change his effort today against the Cougars. That was Portland Lawson's first game played against the Cougars this season. Yesterday was not with the Larks back in early June when the teams first met up. Him and Fitz were both with Tennessee. Tennessee then went to the College World Series. Fitz joined the Larks. Cortland stayed with Tennessee for the remainder of their run. The first delivery home to Lawson. He sends on the slow roller to Iwata, scoops it, and throws off balance on the hop. And that's the second time the Larks will reach on an infield single. That's just a tough play from Iwata, and it's enough to put the bases loaded. Second single of the inning for the Larks, and it's Pearson at third, Davis at second, and Lawson at first for Palmer Hutchison. Palmer has driven in 2 runs against the Cougars this season, batting .280 throughout the whole season, and yesterday batted 8th, moves up in the lineup today to 6, and went 1 for 3 in last night's efforts. Larks lineup 3, 4, 5, and 7 the same. Davis, Schmitz, Lawson, and Crowell stay put, but Lawson moves to shortstop and Crowell moves to first base, but they're still holding their spots in the batting order. 1-0 here to Palmer Hutchison. Takes this one, well hit to left field. It's going to drop, score. Pearson from third. Davis rounds third, heads home. The throw from Duhan is not going to get there in time. It's a 2 RBI single for Hutchison, and the Larks match the Cougars' runs total in the first inning from yesterday's game, and they take a 2-0 lead. Big hit, clutch hit from Hutchison. He moves to third on the throw home, moves Cortland Lawson to third base, and gives the Larks the lead. So Lawson at third, Hutchison at second. 2 in scoring position with 2 out in the bottom of the first, a 2-0 lead as Crowell comes to the plate. Crowell went 0 for 3 in yesterday's ballgame. For Palmer Hutchison, those are RBIs 25 and 26. He's second on the team, just behind Grant Schmidt, and now tied with Leo Jeminian. For Cam Pearson, that is his 30th run scored this season. That is second, now tied with Grant Schmidt, and Divis on that one broke his tie with Grant Schmidt, scores his 31st run this season, and now holds the single season lead. Not the single season lead, but the 2021 season lead. Davis scored 30 times last year and bumps that mark up by a run here in 2021. He actually led the Larks last year in runs with those 30 scored. 0-2 count here to Kraut. Evans on deck with Palmer in the hole for Hayes. Kraut, the 7th hitter of the inning, and he will go down on 3 pitches. Siefkin allows 3 singles, a walk, 2-run score. He strikes out 2 in the effort and sends us to the 2nd inning. Hayes up by 2. Top of the 2nd, we go here in Hayes, Kansas. Velasquez back to the mound. He'll face off against Gavin Schmay, the 3rd baseman, back at 5th in the order today. He's a Brighton, Colorado native, plays at Brighton High School. Has an 0-1 counts. This one will miss inside from Velasquez. 1 ball and a strike. Velasquez, Arizona native, made 26 appearances for Cochise this season. That was the most on the team. Had 3 saves for Cochise and has 3 saves for the Larks. Through 58 2/3, Cochise had an ERA of 3.38, going 7-3, and had the least earned runs on the team among pitchers with an average of 1 inning pitched per game. That was 22 earned runs and is on the leaderboard for the Larks, least earned runs for the Larks. And this season, he will strike out his first bat of the day. Schmay goes back to the dugout 0 for 1. Through to Jake Terwilliger, the center fielder. Terwilliger out of Allen, Texas, goes to Bucknell University, going up against the Cochise College Apache. Jose's last outing was against the Rough Riders. He went 3 innings against Colorado. Picked up the save, his 3rd save of the season. Allowed just 1 hit, striking out 3 guys, no walks, no earned runs for the righty. 1-0 counts here. Trumpwood on deck with Coper in the hole. Larks fans, be sure to follow the Larks on Facebook. Subscribe to the Larks on YouTube and follow the Larks on Twitter to stay up to date with the Larks for the remainder of the summer, and especially as we head to the NBC. This one over the outside part of the plate, a ball and a strike. This one will just miss low. 2 balls and a strike. Jose's longest outing this season was 6 innings on the 13th. It was his second outing. Allowed no hits, no earned runs, had 1 walk, and punched out 6 guys. Season high for strikeouts is 6, and nine of his previous 12 outings were hitless efforts. Allowed 1 hit in 2 different games and 4 hits in 4 innings against the Collegians, a game that the Larks run-ruled Boulder. So it has been dominant for Jose this season. It's one of 4 pitchers we expect to see today. We'll see how long the Larks want to take his right hand. Get a payoff pitch to Terwilliger, the center fielder. Terwilliger in yesterday's game, 2 for 5 with a strikeout. He'll walk here. Jose's second walk of the day, number 13 of the season. That strikeout from Schmay was Velasquez's 27th on the season through 28 1/3. Third base runner of the day, as there is 1 away here in the top of the second. Larks will face off against Denver tomorrow. First pitch at 7 p.m. for the final game of the series, as the Larks will look to win tonight and win tomorrow to take their second series of the season against the Cougars. You can catch first pitch right here on Larks Network on the YouTube channel. Check over at first. Terwilliger's sliding in safely. Trimple to the dish now. The catcher batting in a 7-hole. Takes a first pitch fastball over the inside corner, 0-1. Trimple yesterday went 0 for 4 in the effort against Decolati, Palmer, Riggs, and Brown. Trimple sports that number 5 jersey. He's a Colorado Springs native. Plays at Bismarck State Junior College. A couple of guys from Bismarck State on the roster for the Cougars. Larks have 2 guys from Cochise on the roster. It's Jose on the mound and Cam Pearson at second base. Pearson taking his talents to Fort Hays and will be transferring from Cochise. Check swing. Trimple takes it off the inside of his bat into his dugouts. We'll stay at 0-2. Our corners of the outfield playing deep. Zach Henry in center field shifted a little bit to the left field side. Pearson shifted a little bit into second base for the infield. Runner's taken off for second. Off speed will miss, and Velasquez doesn't get the call on the ball on the breaking pitch, and it will miss inside 1-2. Terwilliger steals second, and that's the second runner in scoring position for the Cougars through the first 2 innings. 1-2, 1 away. Velasquez sets up, will go from the stretch, double play off the table. He comes home. Pitch number 5 of the AB will be caught at the knees. He strikes out his second of the inning. Trimple goes down looking, his first strikeout of the series. Velasquez now has struck out 2 in this game, both in this inning, and 28 on the season. So to Jake Coper, the DH, batting 8th in the order. Cooper in his last effort, 1 for 4 with a run scored. The DH from Santa Barbara, California, is going up against the Phoenix native. Vasquez misses outside on this one, 1-0. Vasquez has thrown 4 first pitch strikes today to the 8 batters he's faced. Just above 30 pitches so far through the first 2 innings. 1-0 counts. Velasquez comes home. This one will miss inside. It runs close to Coper. 2-0. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of the second inning. Will be Evans, Palmer, and Henry, 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Big gap up the middle with Coper at the plate. Harrison shifted towards first base, and Velasquez has missed on all 3 of his pitches this AB. He's thrown strikes on just around 50% of his pitches today so far. Velasquez, 3-0 counts. This one, nice pitch, but Coper's taken all the way, 3-1. Velasquez normally throws strikes on 59% of his pitches and starts out around 57% of his batters with the first pitch strike. 3-1 on its way with 2 away and a runner at second in a 2-0 ball game. Coper swings, tips this one to the glove of Evans, and after 3 straight balls, 2 great pitches, makes it a full count. Larks won game 1 against the Cougars in June, 10-4. Won game 2, 9-3. Game 3, 69 to complete the sweep. And then in this series, lost game 1, 8-4 last night. Slow swing, rolls a ground ball to Crowell. He slides and tosses it to his Velasquez. 3-1 ground out. Nice play from Crowell. Saves a run and sends us to the bottom of the second. Hayes up 2-0 on Larks Network. Bottom of the second, Evans will lead it off. Evans out at catcher today. Had yesterday's game off and is batting in the 8 hole today. He has a 1-0 count. Evans this season against Denver, he's only had 7 at-bats. He's walked 2 times in his 9 plate appearances. Still looking for his first hit, first run and first RBI against Denver. Siefkin has an opponent batting average under 200, but allowed 3 hits in the first inning. Gets a fly ball into right field from Evans. Anderson gets under it, and that's the second straight retired. Leadoff out, so we go to the bottom of the order. Tyler Palmer.
Left fielder from the University of Nebraska, number 5, Tyler Palmer.
Palmer, making his first at bat against the Cougars this season, was out and injured for the first 3 games of the season against them, and was available yesterday, but pitched instead of hit. And yesterday's outing on the mound, 2 innings on 24 pitches, 2 hits, a walk, no runs, and left a few guys on base. Velasquez has left 2 guys on base for the first 2 innings, 1 in each inning. Siefkin comes home, gets a swing and a miss from Palmer. We'll go 1-1. Siefkin, a 2021 grad, will be taking his talents to the Illinois in the Big Ten this fall. He's given a perfect game grade of 7.5, which on their scale is between college prospect, possible future draft pick with development, and potential draft pick and or excellent college prospect in their words. He's rated the 6th right-handed pitcher in the state of Colorado and the 8th overall player in a state that is full of righties. Palmer checks swings in this one and sends it to the Cougars dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Siefken a 6-foot north ball. And the Cougars will have their choice of arms over the next 2 games. They were supposed to throw a couple yesterday, and then Mason Martinez said, don't even worry about it, I'll take all 9 innings. Siefken strikes out his 3rd of the day. Palmer down looking, and that's his 2nd batter down looking against Siefken. And this game, 2-away, bases empty as we go to the top of the order. Zach Henry. Henry grounded out to Smith in the 1st inning. Other than that, Henry against the Cougars this season, 1 for 4 with 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks. Get into the left-hander's batter's box. He's a right-handed thrower, but is one of a few guys on the Larks roster that he likes to hit left-handed. Henry out of the order in yesterday's ball game. Sends his first pitch into the fan pavilion. Will go 0-1. Zach this season batting .333, has an on-base percentage of .477, and is tied with Leo Juminian for the current longest active hitting streak. Has an 0-1 count here against Siefken. Siefken comes home, gets a check swing, and that's enough, 0-2. Siefken this year at Holy Family, 2.71 ERA. He went 6-1 going to Max Prep. Through 41 1/3, struck out 81 guys, only walked 21. And gets a line drive from Henry up the middle. A diving, sliding effort from Terwilliger will take it off his glove, and it is ruled as a hit. The Larks hit their 4th hit of the game, and Henry, who has speed, stands at first base. Siefken had no junior season at Holy Family due to the pandemic, but pitched his first year of varsity in 2019. His sophomore year went 2-2 through 9 appearances. Had a save, his only save in his career, and had an ERA just above 3. Struck out 35 guys and walked 6. In his varsity career, struck out 116, only walking 27 guys. Henry currently leads the Larks in stolen bases. We'll see if he's running here with 2 outs. Pearson to the dish. He is 1 for 1 today, and on the first pitch, Henry's taken off. The Larks steal their 2nd base of the game. The ball either went off Henry's helmet or Smith's glove. Iwana chases it into right field and keeps Henry at 2nd base. Henry now has 22 stolen bases and is 4 away from cracking into the top 10 all-time for the Larks in a single season. We'll check out some of the turf by 2nd base. Henry, Smith, and base paths umpire Kevin Randall checking out at turf. Larks stolen 2 bases in this game, and that's their 92nd base stolen of the season. The 1-0 home to Pearson, outside and low, 2 balls, no strikes to the Fort Hays State commit. Cam's hit a home run and a couple of doubles against this team this season. Anything into the outfield could score Henry. Siefken wants to spin around, and he sends the UTA Maverick back to 2nd. Cam scored that run in the 1st inning. Was the Larks' first run of the inning, and Henry is going for a 3rd. The throw is going to bounce a little bit to the left of the bag as Trumple slid to 3rd as well, trying to save the ball from rolling to the outfield. It was enough of an effort to keep it from rolling into the grass, but it allows Henry to steal his 2nd base, number 23 on the season. And Henry 23 for 28. Guy in 2nd place in terms of stolen bases, Juminian, would have to steal 7 to match what Henry's done so far. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Leo Juminian was the Larks' most aggressive base stealer last year. Led the team in stolen bases. and had quite a few more than the guys in second, third, and fourth place, with the Larks a much more aggressive season on the base paths, and he's being more patient, and that's going to be Cam Pearson's first extra base of the day. He rounds second and has his third double against the Cougars this season, and the two-out rally from the Larks in full swing. Pearson now 2 for 2 with a single and a double. A run scored, a run driven in. Henry scores, and the Larks take a 3-0 lead. For Cam, that is RBI number 26 of the season. And for Zach Henry, his 27th run scored of the season. That is 4th on the team for the guy who's ran in 29 games. Larks have stolen a ton more bases this season, and even if Henry was at first base, I think he could have scored, but stealing those 2 bases gave it a no doubt 90 feet jog home. Divis lines this one to Smith. It'll miss wide of his glove, bounce hard off the grass, and right field, and bounce high to Anderson, and Pearson goes 180 feet. Goes 360 feet over a couple of pitches on his double, and then Divis' single. He's out of breath to the dugout, scoring his second run of the day. Divis now 1 for 1 with a single and a double. Pearson scores his 8th run against Denver this season, and Divis drives in his 6th run. Larks up 4-0 against the Cougars. Runner at first with 2 away. For Pearson, run score number 31 this season, tied with Wyatt Divis for the team lead. Divis drives home his 24th run of the season. That is 4th on the team. So runner at first. Larks have 3 straight 2-out hits. And coming up to the plate is Grant Schmidt. He's 0 from the day, struck out looking back in the first inning against Siefken. Lines this one down the third base line. It'll go right of the bag. Divis rounds second, heads to third. And Schmidt rounds first, head to second. We'll hold the runners there. Larks have 4 straight hits, 2 singles, 2 doubles. And Divis goes to third as Schmidt has his second double against the Cougars this season. His third extra base hit, also had a 3-run homer back in June. So Larks seeing the ball well off the Siefken, and Mark Cerullo, the head coach of the Cougars, will come out of the dugouts. Schmidt against the Cougars now this season, 3 for 9 with 3 RBIs, a run scored. Divis now 7 for 15 with a walk, 6 RBIs, and 5 runs scored against this Denver team. 2 away, we'll be back after the mound visit. Two away, 2 on, both in scoring position for Cortland Lawson. Lawson 1 for 1 today with a single. 0-1 count here. It's a Courts. Siefken will stay on the mound. Had a max fastball from Prep Baseball Report, reported at 91 miles an hour. His curveball between 74 and 76 miles an hour. A slider at 73 to 76, and a changeup between 79 and 81 miles an hour, according to PBR. As an 0-2 count, Illinois commits versus the Tennessee Volunteer. Austin back at shortstop today after playing at second yesterday. Siefken will step off the mound. Schmidt at second with Divis at third here in the bottom of the second. Hayes has scored 2 runs in each of the first 2 innings. They have 7 hits, 4 in a row here with 2 outs. Siefken sets up, will go from the stretch. Inside delivery, Lawson turns the hands in on it and fouls it to the backstop. We'll stay at 0-2 and get a 4th pitch of the at-bats. Hutch on deck. with Crowell in the hole. Larks run 7 to the plate in the first, and they matched that so far in the second. Lawson look to keep things rolling for the Larks. 0-2 counts against Isaac Siefkin. Pitch number 4 of the AB above the letters. Cougars sporting white pants on the road. Old move, black jerseys with the white lettering, the white trim. Larks white home pants, red jerseys, blue lettering with the white trim. Their uniforms for today. The 1-2 home. Lawson sends to right field. It's shallow. Smith and Anderson move towards it. Anderson comes in from his right field spot and leaves 2 in scoring position. Larks bring 7 to the plate. Score 2 runs on 4 hits. Their 2-out rally, a great one. They're up by 4 as we move to the 3rd inning here in Hays, Kansas. Velasquez has faced 4 batters in each of the first 2 innings. Walked a guy in the first and second and picked up 2 strikeouts in the second. He's back to the rubber for inning number 3. Palmer Hutchison's throw from the hot corner a little wild, but Sam Crowell makes a nice leaping catch and reaches down to tag Aiden Smith and allows the Larks to get their first out of the 3rd inning. Good play from Crowell. And there is now 1 away. Smith now 0 for 1 at the bottom of the order. We'll go to the top of the order. Braden Duhan, who's 0 for 0 after walking in the first. He got all the way to 3rd base, but then was left there. Velasquez is left 2 on, giving up 2 walks, no hits, no runs for the first 2 1/3. He comes home as Jackson Blue started to make his way to the bullpen, but turns around and heads to the dugout. He's one of the pitchers we expect to see today, along with Castellucci and Divis. 0-1, 1 away, base is empty, and Velasquez will miss outside. Ground ball to Cam Harrison. He waits on it and throws to Crowell. And Velasquez has retired 4 straight, 3 straight ground outs now. 1 to Crowell, 1 to Pearson, and 1 to Hutchison. 2 away. So we go to Anderson, who has been aboard 5 times in 5 plate appearances against the Larks in this series. He scored 4 runs yesterday, drove in 5 runs off of 3 hits, had 2 home runs in the efforts. And takes this one inside. He's actually been aboard 6 times in 6 plate appearances. Also reached on an error yesterday. Sends a line drive to his dugout. 1-1. Velasquez has 19 no-walk innings and is looking for number 20 right here. Well, miss low, 2-1. Jose has a strikeout to walk ratio of 2.36. Good number for him. And he's looking good here today. Ground ball to Pearson. He takes it off his chest, recovers it barehanded, and throws to Crowell in time. 4 straight ground outs, 5 straight retired. Larks go get the Cougars to go 1-2-3 in the third. Velasquez heads back to dugout with a 4-run lead as we go to the bottom half of the third. Hayes up. Hutchison will lead off the bottom of the third inning here in Hays, Kansas. He singled home a couple of runs back in the first inning, had both of the RBIs in that 2-run inning for Hays. First pitch from Siefken. He's chasing down the count 0-1. Crowell on deck with Evans in the hole for Hays. Jackson blew up in the bin and getting short, stretched out and getting ready to go. 0-2. Hutch, the KCK third baseman, looking at a board for the second time today. Against this team, he is 4 for 11 with 4 RBIs. As a 1-2 count, as Siefken will miss low. Hutchison has now a 5-game hitting streak. Count is even at 2, as Siefken's pitch count's starting to get up. He will miss outside 3-2. He's now thrown above 50 pitches today. 66% of his throws land in the zone. 7 hits allowed, 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts and a walk through 2 innings. Will miss above the letters on the payoff pitch, and Hutchison is aboard for the second time today. And the Larks have their first leadout runner of the day.
The first baseman, Sam Crowell.
Larks picked up 3 singles in the first inning and a walk. And that 1-out rally, that became a 2-out rally. And then had a 2-out rally in the second. Had 4 straight hits, a couple of singles, a couple of doubles. They let 4 on today, scored 4 runs, walked just once. And now it's 2, thanks to Hutchison. Check over on Hutchison, he's back in head first. Delivery, first one to Crowell. Will miss inside. Crowell only saw 4 pitches in his first at bat and went down on strikes. Might have actually been 3 pitches now that I look at it. Check over again. Hutchins safely. ground this season, .333 batting average. He's picked up 21 RBIs in 18 games and scored 9 times. Hasn't run a whole lot since he's a catcher, and we have the courtesy runner here and the RMBL. He's had 6 home runs this season, a double, and 11 singles. So looking for his 19th hit here in this AB. He's ahead in the count, 2-0 against Siefken. Sends this one into right center. Terwilliger and Anderson move towards it. Anderson comes in and will record out number 1 of the inning. So it'll take us to Evans, who's 0 for 1 today.
The Larks catcher, Evans.
Evans flew out to Anderson for out number 1 of the second inning to set himself up 0-1. Then Palmer struck out. Then Henry singled, Pearson doubled. Pearson drove home a run on that double. Then Divis singled home Pearson. And Schmidt, he doubled to put 2 on. And the Larks left 2 on, ending the inning. 1 away here to Evans, sends a pop-up in front of home plate. And that's a nice read from Trumple. Lost it and realized where it was at the last second. Slid and kept it in his glove using his offhand to keep it there. Now there's 2 away. So we're to Tyler Palmer, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout and 0 for 1 against the Cougars this season. Larks pitching staff has struck out 43 guys on the Cougars compared to the Cougars pitching staff, which has struck out 55. Hayes has given up 23 walks. Denver has given up 22 walks against the Larks this season. Hayes has only given up 36 hits. Denver has given up 50 hits in the matchup. Hayes has 18 earned runs. Denver has 40 earned runs. Line drive into center field. It'll drop. And Tyler Palmer, as an 8th Street Liquor beverage batter, gives the fans half-price beverages for the remainder of the 3rd inning and puts 2 on with 2 outs. But the Larks have another 2-out rally. And moves Hutchison to second. And Palmer goes to first. 2 Palmers on the base pass. Tyler Palmer at first. Palmer Hutchison at second. Tyler picks up his 17th hit this season, his 7th single. We go to the top of the order, Zach Henry. He singled in the last inning, is 1 for 2 with a run scored. Fans make their way down to the fan pavilion. Go and get their beverages thanks to Ty. 2 away. Henry takes this one up the middle. Iwata started to go to third after Hutchison left the bag and then reached back to his left, but it wasn't enough. It's a line drive single for Henry. Larks take a 5-0 lead. Henry picks up an RBI. Hutchison scores. Hutchison now has 2 RBIs on the day, and the Larks still have 2 on with 2 outs. That is Henry's 3rd RBI against the Cougars this season. Hutchison scores for the 5th time against the Cougars this season. The Larks are outscoring the Cougars 44-24, and now 5 games played against Denver this season. For Palmer Hutchison, that is run scored number 26 on the season. That is 5th on the team behind Henry, Pearson, Divis, and Schmidt. And in the process, Henry picks up RBI number 16. 0-1. Larks love the 2 outs rally here on this Saturday evening game. Just past 8 p.m. here in Hays, Kansas, and it's still a scorcher at the ballpark, and the wind not helping anything. 0-1. Siefken has to stay on the mound out in the heat. We'll see if that has any effect, and maybe that's had part of the why the Larks have had 2-out rallies, because when there's 2 outs and you give up a hit out in the heat and you have to stay out there, that can get frustrating, and the Larks have taken advantage of it. 1-1 here to Cam Pearson. He has come to the plate for the 3rd time today in 3 innings. He has a single and a double on the day. He scored 2 times and driven in a run. 1-2 count here to the second baseman. Cam in June really spent most of his time defensively in the outfield. Sometimes Gonson looks at first base, but he's been at second base quite a few times here in July, especially after the Larks had Cord Jackson dropped from the roster. 1-2. And since Grant Long has been so good at first base, that's opened up an opportunity for Cam as well to go to second. 1-2 count here. Safekin on the mound. We'll likely see Velasquez back for the fourth for the Larks. The 1-2 home, and Barrison chases it. Safekin has now struck out 4 today. He's given up 5 runs and 9 hits with 2 walks. Larks score 1 here in the third. They've scored in each of the first 3 innings. They take that 5-0 lead to the fourth here in Hays, Kansas. Velasquez back to the mound for inning number 4 here for the Larks. He struck out 2 and walked 2, giving up no hits, no runs through the first 3 innings. He worked a 1-2-3 third with 3 groundouts, 1 to Hutchison and 2 to Pearson, and throws a first pitch fastball to Iwata. Iwata takes it out of play, 0-1. Iwata on the day, 0 for 1. He had that double play in the first inning. Iwata from Monterey Junior College hits in the right-hander's batter's box, has a 1-1 count. Velasquez from the windup delivers home, gets a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Velasquez has been in a groove on the mound. Jackson Blue is up in the pen, warming up for Hays, and Velasquez will strike out his 3rd bat of the day. He is now retired 6 straights, and there is 1 away. Iwata now 0 for 2 of the 3-hole. We'll go to the cleanup hitter, Braden Koenig. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out to Cortland Lawson for the last out of the first inning. Koenig, North Dakota native, has a 1-0 count as Velasquez misses outside. His first at-bats went down as a quality at-bat. Saw a good amount of pitches against Velasquez. His pitch count is hanging around 45 right now. 2-0. Koenig this season batting .289 for the Cougars with an on-base percentage of .358. Has a 2-1 count now. Velasquez. His longest outing of the season was 6 innings against the Sox in a game that he came up in clutch. And through the last 6 innings in relief, gets a ground ball right back to him, scoops it, throws to Corral underhand for out number 2. Seen groundouts to Lawson, groundouts to Hutchison, groundouts to Pearson, Corral, and now Velasquez. Everybody in the infield in front of the catcher has been part of a groundout. If Velasquez gets these next 2 outs, He will match his second longest outing of the season, went 4 innings in relief against the Collegians back on the 3rd. That was a huge game in relief for Velasquez, going 6 innings against the Sox on the 13th after the Larks. That was the day before, is the day the Larks lost their first game of the season, and Larks needed to do something to get back, and he came in clutch. Trevor Munn started the game, went 3 innings. It was his first outing in a while. Gave up an earned run and 3 hits. Larks pulled him. Velasquez went the next 6 innings on 62 pitches. No hits, no earned runs, struck out 6 guys. Larks won 5-1 and retaliated against the Sox. That day before, I mentioned, was the Larks' first loss of the season. The Larks have only lost 1 game on the road this year, and have only lost 1 game so far in the month of July. It was last night against the Cougars. 3-1 counts here against Gavin Schmay, the high schooler. He's 0 for 1 today and sends a line drive to the backstop. We'll have a full count now. Payoff pitch with 2 away and the base is empty. Due for the Larks in the 4th inning of action. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Divis, Schmitz, and Lawson. Payoff pitch on its way. It's a good one, but it's fouled off. We'll go 3-2 again. This will be the 7th pitch of the AB to Schmay. Struck out in the 2nd inning. It was Velasquez's first strikeout of the day and his 27th of the season. Since then, he's got 2 more. Now has 29 strikeouts on the season. He's now in 4th place in terms of strikeouts. Jose's giving up the least hits on the team, has the most saves and the 2nd most wins. This one's fouled off again. We'll have an 8-pitch at bat. Payoff pitch on its way. Schmay swinging, and Velasquez gets his 2nd strikeout of the inning, number 4 of the day, and number 30 of the season. He's thrown 2 straight 1-2-3 innings and retired 8 straight. Denver Cougars. We go to the bottom half of the 4th. Hayes rolling here, has scored in the first 3. They're up 5-0 here on Larks Network. Divis will lead things off in the bottom of the 4th inning. He's 1 for 1 today with a single, a walk, a run scored, and a run driven in. One 0 count. Schmay returns the mound for his 4th inning of work. Comes from the windup and will catch the outside part of the plate. 0-1 against Divis. Divis, a Lincoln, Nebraska native, has now spent 4 summers in Hayes for the Larks. The 5'10 senior from UTA has been having a record-breaking summer. 1-2 now as this one's in the zone. Siefkin on the mound. has now thrown 67 pitches. Has thrown 3 innings, 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Davis reaches for one, and he might have laid off had there not been 2 strikes, and rolls it to Smith. Smith catches it at the letters, throws to Koenig, and that is in time for outs number 1 of the 4th inning. So to Grant Schmidt. Schmidt on the day 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout, and is coming up to the plate. 1 through 3 in the order have accounted for 4 runs scored and 3 runs driven in. Schmidt, the cleanup hitter, had one of the Larks' 2 extra base hits in the game, but was left at second base in the 2nd inning. Was part of that 2 outs rally in the 2nd, where the Larks had 4 straight hits. His was number 4, was a double, but didn't bring anybody home. Got Davis to third, sends this one to the deepest part of the ballpark. Terwilliger chases it, and Grant Schmidt will have a stand-up double. The Larks' 10th hit of the game, their 3rd extra base hit, his 2nd of the day. And against the Cougars, Schmidt now has 3 doubles. On the season for Schmidt, that is his 10th double. That is matched with Palmer Hutchison for the team lead.
The shortstop, Portland Lawson.
Larks are hitting the ball well. They keep finding the barrel of the bats, and there's one away. So Lawson to the dish. Lawson on the day 1 for 2. Flew out to Anderson the 2nd, then singled in the 1st inning. Got all the way to 3rd base in the 1st inning, but was left at the 3 bag. One away, the first delivery to him. It's inside. He chases, or not chases, but gives it a cut, but can't make contact. No balls in, a strike here to the Virginia native. Nebraska native at 2nd, Colorado native on the mound for the Cougars. 0-1 home. Drops low, Trimble blocks it and keeps the Nebraska native Grant Schmidt at 2nd. Court this season batting .357, has an on-base percentage above 500. We'll need some more plate appearances in order to qualify for the record book to break out and even up the games played, since he missed a large part of the season early on. Sends a line drive well to Duhan, but Duhan doesn't really have to move. That one was just well hit, but at the wrong spot of the ballpark, and that'll be out number 2. Hutch is having a great game. He's to the plate now. He's 1 for 2 with a single, a walk, a run scored. He also drove in 2 runs back in the 1st inning. Now the base is loaded, and then singled home Davis and Pearson. 1-0 count here. Movement up in the pen for the Cougars. And there's moving up in the pen for Hayes as well. Siefkin will miss high. 2 balls, no strikes. Siefkin now has thrown 72 pitches. 63% of those have been strikes. And is looking for out number 3 here in the 4th. Pitch 3 of the AB above the letters, and Hutchison might get his 2nd walk in 2 innings. On deck is Crowell with Evans in the hole for Hayes. Larks 26-5 on the season, already have 4 more wins than they did last year. The Rocky Mountain Baseball League champs had that 14-game winning streak snapped last night, and the revenge game is going in their favor. We're into home plate umpire Jeff Keith. This one will miss above the letters on Palmer Hutchison, and he walks for the 2nd time today. He's made 3 plate appearances over the course of 4 innings, and has walked in back-to-back innings and been aboard 3 times. He's at first base. Schmidt at 2nd with 2 away for Sam Crowell. Siefkin has now walked 3 batters, 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd and 4th, both in the 3rd and 4th. Hutchison. Crowell on the day 0 for 2. He's just one of 2 Larks to not get aboard so far in this game. Sends a ground ball to 3rd base, and Trumpold dances around with Schmidt, It was going to tag him and then realized he could just tap on the bag. Schmidt was going to dance around him, but that'll end the 4th inning. Larks put 2 on with 2 outs, but don't get a 2-out rally here. We go to the 5th inning, and Jackson Blue will look to take the mound for the Larks. Top of the 5th, Jackson Blue will replace Jose Velasquez on the rubber. Throws a first pitch fastball in the zone against Jake Terwilliger to get the 5th inning going. It's another swing here. 0-2. Blue now wasting time hitting the zone here. For Jackson Blue, this is his 8th appearance of the season. He's thrown 22 innings. He's 1-0. And this is his 6th appearance in relief. Gets a ground ball to Hutchison. Throws across the diamond in time. And there have been now 9 straight Cougars retired. Blue this season, ERA above 6 and a whip above 2. He struck out 16 guys, walked 23, giving up 25 hits, and has 21 earned runs. His last outing was against OKC when he went 2 innings and had 7 earned runs, had back-to-back 2-inning, 7 earned run outings. But before that was in a groove. His longest outing was against the Collegians when he went 6 innings, no earned runs with a couple of strikeouts. And is back on the mound here. Has had 8 days of rest from his last outing, and his arm looks ready to go. Has thrown now 5 pitches, all in the zone. 0-2. This one in the zone again is lined to Lawson. 2 up, 2 down on a handful of pitches. As Blue has now made its 10 straight Cougars retired. Velasquez will finish his day after 4 innings and 61 pitches. He strikes out 4 and walks 2 guys. That is Jose Velasquez's 10th outing this season without allowing a hit out of 13 outings. He's allowed just 6 hits through 31 innings on the mound. It's been a great season for Velasquez, and it's been a great inning for Blue so far. The 1-0 home. Nice pitch, gets a swing and a miss out of Coper. Blue spent the past year at UTA and is head to Hutchinson. Sports that number 32 jersey is from the Woodlands, Texas, as 6'5" freshman comes home, misses outside, 2 balls and a strike here to Jake Coper, the DH. He grounded out to Crowell to end the second inning. Blue waits for him to get back in the left-hander's batter's box, and as soon as he's ready, he comes home and misses outside on the off-speed. Blue's got great stuff. It's been just a few little tweaks in his game that have been the negative thing for him this season. Just one thing goes wrong, and then it seems that another thing goes wrong, and that can really add up on the pitcher, and that could explain some of his big run performances, but has phenomenal stuff on the mound, and that's going to be huge for Hutchinson this season. He will walk Coper here on the payoff pitch, and there's a runner at first with 2 outs. Coming out of high school, Blue was the 41st overall player in Texas according to Perfect Game, and was the 16th best right-handed pitcher in the States by the same service. 2 away with a runner at first. That is the 3rd walk of the game for the Denver Cougars. Blue has now given up 24 walks. Right at the bottom of the order, Aiden Smith, the second baseman, is 0-4 on the day. We'll check over at the runner at first, not in time. 3 UTA Mavericks now on the field. Crowell at first, Blue on the mound, and Henry in center. Smith from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, sends a one down the first base line. A diving effort from Crowell won't reel it in. It goes foul. Smith goes to UCCS and is going up against Blue. Blue a righty. He's from, like I said, the Woodlands, Texas. So we got a Texas native up against a Colorado native. If you're a rap fan, the Woodlands, Texas, where Jackson Blue went to school, is where rap group Brockhampton was formed. So big alumni from that school, and Blue looking to put his name among the best of them. 0-2 here, as this one will be popped over to the right side and will drop foul. Smith a little late on his swings in this AB. Blue looking for the strikeout here. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of the 5th. 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Evans, Palmer, and Henry will be the second inning that Evans leads off for the Larks. 0-2 home. We'll get a quarter of a swing from Smith as the breaking ball almost gets a cut. It was a pitch to waste, so it won't really matter as we go 1-2. Coper gets his lead at first base. Blue looks over his shoulder, comes home. 1-2, and again, that'll be ruled a strike. Home plate umpire Jeff Keefe just made a regular strike sign, and Blue goes, isn't that 3? And it is 3, and Blue picks up the strikeout and leaves the runner at first base, keeps the Cougars off the board, and strikes out his 17th batter of the season. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. Hayes up by 5. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned into Larks Network. Bottom of the fifth, here we go. Brady Evans will lead it off for the Larks for the second time today. He's 0 for 2 with a flyout and a pop-out. His pop-up was to right field to Anderson. His pop-up was to Trumpold in front of home plate. 0-1. Here as we get the bottom of the fifth going. Palmer on deck with Henry on the hole. In the hole for the Larks. New pitcher into the game is Will Brazel. It's a southpaw after we go right-handed. 4 innings from Siefkin. The second pitch from Brazel will be grounded to Iwata. It's a ground out for Evans. He's now 0 for 3, and there's one away.
Tonight's A Street Liquor Beverage batter, the left fielder, Tyler Palmer.
We'll go to Tyler Palmer. He's 1 for 2 in the day with a single in the third inning. Got to second base, but was left there. Brazel is southpaw. He's a Broomfield, Colorado native. Goes to Scottsdale Community College. Siefkin finishes his day after 4 innings, matches his second highest innings pitch on the season. And in this game, throws 79 pitches, allows 10 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and a trio of walks. Brazel has made now 12 appearances for the Cougars. He pitched against the Larks 2 times in the last series, pitched on the Friday game and the Sunday game. Threw 1 1/3 on the Friday game. That was June 18th. Allowed a hit, had 3 earned runs after he walked 2. And then on the Sunday game, came back for an inning, allowed 2 hits, a walk, and no earned runs. Has an ERA of 6.75 and a whip of 1.85. He is 1-1 on the season with a pair of saves and has made 11 out of his 12 appearances out of the pen. Southpaw's thrown 3 straight balls here to Palmer, and Tyler will take this one looking 3-1. Hitters count here for Tyler Palmer. The left fielder in the right-hander's batter's box. Pitch number 5 to him, swings at a hard cut, and that was a full count. Brazel into Holy Family High School, where starting pitcher Kiefkin went. Kiefkin just graduated there. Brazel, a graduate of 2018. Had a career ERA of 5.59 at Holy Family. Had 6 wins. And we'll get Tyler Palmer down on strikes after a 3-0 count. Palmer's second strikeout of the day.
The center fielder, Zach Henry.
We'll go to Henry. Zach Henry on the day at the top of the order. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles in the second and the third inning. Scored a run and drove in a run. Brazel was a New Mexico commit out of high school, came out of 2018, so he would have played. As we'll get to that in a second. Ground ball rolls just a foot into foul territory in front of the bag, and we'll go 0-1. So Larks had a pitcher in 2019 that was a 2018 grad at the high school and went to New Mexico, and Drew Marufo. Marufo spent a year there and spent a year for the Larks, so Brazel and him would have that connection. Brazel then spent time at Pima Community College, where the Larks have had guys like Carlos Tavera, who just got drafted by the Orioles, spent time there. Tommy Garcia, Larks pitcher, spent time there, and Christian Piercy also pitched for Pima a little bit before going to Rockford. So, Pima, supplier of the RMBL arms. It's a pitcher's school. Brazel stands at 6'5". He's a southpaw. And deliver home. Brazel spent just 1 year at Pima through 2 outings. 1 1/3 inning, gave up a run and struck out 1. Miss outside to Henry, 2-1. Brazel was given a perfect game grade of 9 out of high school and was the 22nd best player according to Perfect Game in the state in that 18 class. In the COVID-shortened season at Scottsdale, Brownsville through 6 appearances went 1-1 with 3 starts, threw an 11 and a third innings and had an ERA at 7.94, striking out 11 guys. We'll go 2-2 to Zach Henry. Pearson on deck with Divis in the hole here in the bottom of the 5th. Hayes went scoreless in the 4th inning for the first time today. Picked up 2 runs in the 1st and 2nd, and then got a run in the 3rd. Brownsville with southpaw comes home. Henry takes this one oppo, but it'll be hit too far to the left side and bounce in the bullpen. So we'll stay 2-2 and get a 6th pitch at the AB. Henry, after those 2 hits today, has 3 hits and 7 at-bats against the Cougars this season. He's also picked up a pair of walks, scored 3 runs against this team, and driven in 3 runs. Has an RBI and a run scored today, now a full count, so working a great at-bat. Payoff pitch will run outside, and a great approach from Henry with 2 strikes on him early. Draws a walk, and he's aboard for the 3rd straight time today in 4 plate appearances. Larks get their 4th walk of the day, and Henry has speed. He's really stolen 2 bases today, 23 on the season, and he ran on the first pitch the last time. We'll see if he's running again. We'll go to Cam Pearson. He is 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and a strikeout. He scored 2 times and driven in a run. And there's something going on with Terwilliger in center. Anderson will check on him. Not sure what was going on there, but appears that thankfully everything's okay. Gives a thumb up to his teammates and to the umpire. Just before Pearson hit, we got time, and he sprinted over to his right fielder and got looked at. 2 away. Henry's taken off on the first pitch. The pitch is outside, and Henry steals his 3rd base of the day. He's 3 for 3 and puts himself in scoring position. Stolen base number 24 on the season. That leads the team. And good, the Larks have another 2-out rally. Larks have stolen 4 bases today. The other one came from Cam Pearson, who's at the plate right now. So Henry now just 2 stolen bases from cracking the Larks' top 10 for a single season record. 1-0 home. He's moving around at second, and before Brazel picked up his front foot, Cam got time and started to come home, and then was forced to reset. 1-0-2 away in the bottom of the 5th. Henry at second, in danger of scoring the Larks' 6th run, and anything into the outfield could score him. The 1-0 home, fastball way inside and low. Ball bounces away from Trumpold. He has a late reaction and throws to third. He gets away from the third baseman, and Henry goes from second to home. That is Schmay at third base, and that one got away from him. He blocked one earlier to save a run. This one will be Zach Henry's 2nd run scored of the day. Base is empty with a 2-0 count. Larks now up 6-0. Henry has now scored 4 times against the Cougars this season. Chopper to shortstop. Iwata fields it at the letters and throws to first. It's to Koenig in time, and Pearson won't have the speed to get his 2nd infield single of the day, and that'll end the 5th inning. Larks get a run in their 4th inning. For the 4th inning today, they are up 6-0 as we move to the 6th here in Hays, Kansas. Top of the sixth, Blue backs the mound for his second inning of work and throws a first pitch strike to Braden Duhan at the top of the order. The start of the third time through the order for the Cougars. Duhan on the day 0 for 1 with a walk, onto third base, sends a ground ball up the middle. Pearson moves to his right, hops up and throws one over the head of Crowell. Evans there to back up the throw, and that's going to be the Larks' second error of the game. Cam just didn't have that one, and Duhan is aboard for the second time.
The right fielder, number 3, Landon Anderson.
With Landon Anderson, who's having not as good as a day as he did yesterday with the pair of home runs and 4 runs scored and 5 RBIs yesterday. Today he's 0 for 2. Larks have 6 errors in the past 2 games against the Cougars. And now 6 errors against Denver this year. Denver 7 errors against the Larks this season. Anderson, the right fielder, to the box, has that runner at first. Blue goes home, gets a swing and a miss. Blue's gotten to see now 6 batters, allowed 1 walk in the third inning, but got 3 outs and a strikeout before the inning was over. Strikeout ended the inning. Swan gets away from Evans. He shuffles to it and looks Duhan back to the bag. Blue's thrown now 3 innings against the Cougars this season, giving up 2 hits, 3 earned runs, and 3 walks with 2 strikeouts through 2 innings against the Cougars on the 18th, and to see them again. Fly ball into right field. Schmidt moves to his right, gets under it, and records out number 1. And retreating back to first base is Duhan. Anderson now 0 for 3. Anderson from Rockwall, Texas, where Larks have their center fielder Zach Henry from. Anderson currently goes to Seward Community College and is back to the dugouts. Blue yet to allow a hit in his outing. So that takes us to Keen Awada. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and was the hitter in that double play in the first inning. Runner takes off from first. Evans throws down is a good one, but it's not in time. That's just a great jump from Duhan. It was an absolute dime from Evans, but a better jump. So we'll go 0-1 with 1 away. Now a runner in scoring position. Larks have caught 11 guys stealing this season. Evans leads the team with 6 runners thrown out. Ground has thrown 5 guys out behind the dish. And Evans wants to chat with Blue. Got a guy up in the pen for Hayes. Can't tell who it is from here, but it should be, according to the rotation we were given before the game, Max Castellucci. 0-1. Blue looks at the runner at second, Duhan. Moves around and then goes home. Ground ball to Pearson. This one should be an easier play for him. He throws sidearm to Crowell in time. Duhan moves to third base, and now there's 2 away. Takes us to Braden Koenig. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out to Lawson. And he grounded out to Velasquez in the 4th inning. Was a second to last batter that Velasquez faced. It's from North Dakota. Going up against the Texas native. Schmay on deck with Terwilliger in the hole. 2-away runner at third base in the top of the 6th. Hayes up 6-0. This one a great pitch from Blue. Can't catch the inside corner though. 1-0. Blue, the tallest guy the Larks have on the mound, stands at 6'5", and we'll use that frame to deliver here the 1-0 home. Fastball low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Do for the Larks in the bottom of this 6th inning. 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Davis, Schmidt, and Lawson. for the second inning that Divis leads off for the Larks. 3-0. Blue misses outside. Lights on here in Hayes. Sun setting as we're in the top of the 6th. Blue will set up and go from the stretch. It's right down the pipe, but Koenig's taking all the way. 3-1. Koenig this season, he has 14 hits, looking for number 15 and pick up his 15th RBI this season. Will walk on 5 pitches instead. The second walk Blues allowed today. Now there's runners on the corners. Tough call from the home plate umpire Jeff Keith. The Larks fans not happy with it. And Blue will stay on the rubber here in the 6th. Blues pitched against 7 different teams over his 9 outings. And spent 2 games on the mound against the Cougars, 2 games against the Saints. And has now thrown 23 2/3. Misses outside here, has thrown balls on 5 of his last 6 pitches and has a 1-0 count against Gavin Schmay. Schmay 0 for 2. This is his first look at Blue. He is the 9th hitter that Blue faces. Schmay struck out in the 2nd and the 4th inning against Jose Velasquez. 1-0 home, outside, and Jeff Keith not giving Blue the outside part of the plates. Koenig gets his lead at first. Duan at third. 2-0 home from Blue. Outside, Evans tries to frame it. He's really throwing Schmay outside and has thrown balls on 7 of his last 8 pitches. Crowell comes to the mound and chats with him. And now the dugout is Keith Harper. We'll take a quick break for the mound visit here in Hayes. Quick mound visits mid at bats against Schmay. Blue missing his location in this AB. 3-0 count, 2 out. Both runners on the corners in the top of the 6th. Had there not been an error in the top of this inning, still in the top of the inning, had there not been that error to lead it off, probably be out of the inning as Blue retaliated with 2 straight outs. After it's 3-1 swinging is Schmay. He's swinging at the 3-2, and Blue looks in the zone after the mound visit with veteran pitching coach Keith Harper. Also got some words from Crowell. Crowell, smart catcher, knows Blue very well after spending time with him at UTA and knows what he needs to hear. Payoff pitch on its way from Blue. He delivers. Runner takes off from first with the payoff pitch on 2 outs. And Blue will walk his second straight batter. The fastball misses low, and the bases are loaded. Schmay at first, Koenig at second with Duhan at third. Go to Jake Terwilliger. Terwilliger on the day 0 for 1 with the walk. Center fielder. To the dish now, he's batting 6th in the order. Terwilliger from Allen, Texas, goes to Bucknell University. 2 away, he sends his first pitch to center field. Henry moves back and to his left, gets under it, and makes a nice catch as he slips on the warning track. Blue tips his cap to his teammate from UTA and gets us out of a bases-loaded jam. And the Cougars hitless through 6. Hayes up by 6. Henry, beautiful play out in the center field in the deepest part of the ballpark. One that was well hit. Larks up by 6 as we go to the bottom half. Bottom of the 6th, Davis lead it off for the Larks. It's the second inning. Davis is led off. He led off the 4th and grounded out to Smith. He is 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a walk. Had scored in the first inning and then drove in a run in the second inning. It is still Brazel on the mound. Has missed the zone on the first 2 pitches here to Davis. Davis has been the DH for the Larks this season in games that he's not starting on the mound, and has been so great for the Larks on the mound and at the plates. Above the letters on Brazel's delivery, 3 straight balls here from the southpaw. Brazel threw 18 innings in his first inning pitching. This is his second. No hits or runs scored on him, but it was for some reason marked. It was unearned. It was. I remember the error now. He will walk Davis on 4 pitches. Davis's second walk of the game, and for Davis, that is his second walk against the Cougars this season. That's odd that he hadn't walked against this team before this game. For Wyatt, walk number 20, that's second on the team behind Lawson. Schmidt brings one to left field. It's going to drop by Duhan. It's a no-out single for Schmidt, who's having a great day. He started his day with a strikeout looking. Since then, a pair of doubles and now a single moves Davis to second. And the Larks look to put some more runs on the board here in the 6th. Lawson to the plate now. He is 1 for 3 with a line out of fly out and a single. Hutchison on deck with Crowell in the hole for Hayes. Davis led the Larks last year with 31 walks, and has walked 2 times today. Larks have walked a total of 5 times in this game, and have walked against the Denver pitching staff 26 times this season, and the Larks pitching staff has given up 26 walks as well to the Denver Cougars. No balls and a strike here with nobody out, 2 on for the Larks. Lawson had his 17-game on-base streak snapped yesterday, puts it back up, and gets it going today with that single in the first inning. That was his 12th single of the year, his 21st hit. He has 3 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs, and is slugging almost 700 this season. 1-1 to Cortland Lawson against Brazel. It is curveball, missed way outside, 2-1. This is the 5th matchup between these 2 teams of the season. Game 6 will be tomorrow. Larks 3-1 so far against the Cougars. Lost last night for Game 1 of this 3-game series. Lawson works a lot of pitch counts high and draws a lot of walks because of it. Just a patient hitter with a great approach. Is ahead in the count, 2-1. Brazel looks at Davis, who creeps one of his biggest leads of the season at second. 2-1 will miss outside on a fastball, 3-1. Brazel has walked 1 in this inning and allowed a hit. He's walked 2 so far through 1 statistical inning of pitching since he hasn't gotten out here in the 6th. Helix Holmes gets his signs from Trumpold and will go from the stretch. Hitter's count delivery will miss outside, and Lawson picks up his team-leading 22nd walk of the season. Davis to third, Schmidt to second, and Lawson will take first as Mark Cirillo comes out of the dugout. We'll be back after the pitcher's mound visit. Bases loaded for Palmer Hutchison. With nobody out, Brazel stays on the mound. The southpaw will miss home. 1-0 to Hutch. Palmer today, 1 for 1. Singled home a couple of runs in the first inning, walked in the third inning and scored, and then walked in the fourth inning. Larks now over halfway through their fourth time of the order as we're to the 6th hole. He chases one outside, 1-1. See how Brazel responds after the mound visit between him and Mark Cirillo. Palmer yesterday went 1 for 3, has already been aboard 3 times today, and is 1 for 1. The 1-1 home, inside again. 3 pitches out of the zone, 2 inside, 1 outside, but Hutchison was swinging at the second one. And we have a 2-1 count now to Hutch. Evans on deck with Palmer in the hole. Big RBI opportunity here for Hutchison, who's driven in 2 today, 26 on the season. He has Davis at third, Schmidt at second, and Lawson at first. The slider will miss above the letters, had some movements, but didn't drop low enough. 3-1. And big pitch coming, hitters count. Can't walk home a run, but they've already seen what Hutchison can do today. Brazel holds the ball behind his back, puts in his glove, gets his grip, goes home, and pitch number 5 is popped over the right side. Koenig gives chase. He's at the warning track of the foul territory wall and watches it drop into the bullpen of the Cougars. Ball will get thrown back into play to Max McGuire, who tosses it to the Larks dugout. The wind completely died down here on a very warm evening here in Hayes. 3-2 counts, payoff pitch on its way from Brazel. Crowell on deck. If Hutchison can keep the line moving, unless there's a triple play, the line will stay moving. Payoff pitch. We'll get a swing and a miss, and that is a great response from Brazel. Strikes out his second of the day and puts one away with the bases loaded for Crowell. Sam this season, 21 RBIs. He's had 6 home runs. Big one. If he could hit one here, it'd be a grand slam. Larks already hit 2 grand slams against the Cougars this season. One of them came from Dylan Dreiling. The other one came from Grant Lung in back-to-back games back in June. Sam has only had 6 at-bats against the Cougars this season. Takes this one to left center. Duhan and Terwilliger move back. Terwilliger makes the catch in front of the warning track, throws to third. Schmidt is in safely. Davis scores. Lawson moves to second. And it's a sacrifice fly for Sam Crowell. Picks up his first RBI against the Cougars this season. Davis scores his second run of the day. And number 32 this season gets his title back. And Sam picks up his 22nd RBI of the 2021 Hayes Larks season. 2 in scoring position with 2 out in a 7-0 game. Sam now sits at 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a pop-up, a ground out, and a sac fly. Ball was well hit. Larks fans thought maybe we could add a home run, but it was 15 feet short. It's right to the 349 marker in left center. Brazel checks on. Lawson at second. Safe. Brady Evans at the plate. He's 0 for 3 due for hits. 7 and 8 in the order combined for 0 for 6. Evans rips one hard and high to left field, but will miss it. Foul. It goes out of the ballpark. That one was a home run swing. He was just a little too eager for that one. Larks fans and Cougars fans, be sure to subscribe while you're watching the stream. Hit the subscribe button below the video, that big red logo, to help us out a ton. We put these games on YouTube for free, but subscribing helps us reach a broader audience and helps us to our goal of 1,000 subscribers. So tell your friends, share the Larks YouTube channel, and hit that subscribe button as we will continue our coverage of the 2021 season. 0-1, two-away. Lawson at second, Schmidt at third. In the bottom of the sixth, Larks have scored in every inning but the fourth. Brazel will go from the stretch, the 0-1 home, outside to Evans. Bray's a great guy to have at the plate with runners in scoring position. He's slugging nearly 700 and has driven in 15 runs. He's batting .375 and has an on-base percentage of .514. Looks calm and collected in the right-hander's batter's box. The 1-1 home, outside and high, 2-1. Evans from Murray State College, stayed in Oklahoma out of high school. He's a 5'8 catcher. Drove in 19 runs for the Aggies in 2021 after driving in 3 in 2020. Brazel shakes off a sign from Trumple, nods at number 2. Will deliver from the stretch. The southpaw comes home. Evan rips one to center field. It's going to drop. Scores Schmidt from third. Lawson rounds third and heads home. It's a 2 RBI single from Brady Evans, a second 2 RBI single of the day. The other one came from Hutchison. Lawson scores and Schmidt scores. 1 through 6 in the order have all scored, and 1 through 8 in the order have either driven in a run or scored. So now there is a 9-0 ball game, and Leo Jeminian will run at first. Big at bat coming as we'll get a new pitcher, Cirillo, out of the dugout. So let's check out how Brady Evans' RBI total stands now. That's 16 and 17 on the season. For Grant Schmidt, he scored his 31st run of the season. That is tied, one behind Divis for the team lead. And Cortland Lawson scores his 25th run of the season. We'll get a new pitcher and let you know who it is after the break. Larks have scored 3 runs in this inning, the most in an inning through the first 6. They're up 9-0. Leo Jeminian at first, running for Evans with Tyler Palmer at the plate. New pitcher of the game is Tyler Shelley, an undecided pitcher. Checks over on Jeminian. Jeminian in head first safely. Two-way bottom of the 6th, runner at first. He's up 9-0. Palmer at the plate. He's 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Shelley will check over on Jeminian again. He's in safely. Shelley's making his Stats updating. His 6th appearance of the season. He's thrown 8 1/3. This is his 5th straight appearance in relief. Misses it wildly outside on a fastball, 1-0. He's 2-0 this season for the Cougars and has given up 4 hits, 10 strikeouts, and walked 11 batters. Has an ERA of 3.24 and a whip of 1.8. Palmer checks his swing. Doesn't go off his bat, but it does go to the backstop, and Jiminian puts himself in scoring position. Should the Larks score Jiminian and then get 3 outs in the top of the 7th, that would be the ball game. Shelley, Parker, Colorado native. It's a 5'7" pitcher. Played at the College of Marin. Made 17 appearances in 2020. That 17 games hitting, made 6 appearances on the mound, went 2-0 through 11 1/3 innings, allowed 2 earned runs, striking out 16 guys with an ERA of 1.59 in the COVID-shortened season. 1-2 count. Alrighty, will go home. Third pitcher in the game for the Denver Cougars. Was rated by Perfect Game as a 26th player in the States, coming out of high school in 2019, given a Perfect Game grade of 8.5 from the recruiting service. He looks home against Tyler Palmer. 1-2 count. Palmer already has a hit on the day, looking for number 2 and to bring home Jiminian. Pitch number 4 of the AV will miss low. We'll go 2-2. Henry on deck with Paris in the hole. This is the 3rd inning that the Larks have brought 7 hitters to the plate in. Tyler, number 7. Larks have walked 2 times this inning and had 2 singles in a sacrifice fly and a strikeout. And that'll be the 2nd strikeout of the inning. Shelley strikes out his 11th batter of the season, and Tyler Palmer is given the hat trick. He's gone down once looking, once swinging in the 5th, and now swinging in the 6th. So that'll end the 6th inning. The Larks pick up 3 runs and take a 9-run lead to the 7th here in Hays, Kansas. Jackson Blue's day will be over after 2 innings. It's his 4th outing of exactly 2 innings. And Max Castellucci will take over on the rubber. Throws a first pitch strike here to Carson Trumpold. Trumpold on the day 0 for 2. Scoreboard shows that the Cougars have 1 hit. I have none. Either on the Hutchison error or the Pearson error, it was ruled a hit, but I thought both of those were pretty clearly errors, so no hitter evidently off the table now. Fly ball to center field. Henry moves back and records out number 1. Jake Cober to the dish now. For Max Castellucci, he is making his 8th appearance of the season on the rubber. Has thrown 11 2/3 now. Allowed 9 hits, 10 earned runs, and had 12 strikeouts. Has an ERA of 6.18. And has an opponent batting average of .231, but walks have been the thing for Max this season. He's walked 16 guys. There was another first pitch strike here to Coper, the DH. Coper on the day 0 for 3 with a walk. Coper from Santa Barbara, California, going up against fellow California native Castellucci. Castellucci from Napa, California, is a 6-foot freshman from Mission College, headed to Sac State. And his career at Mission, he went undefeated and struck out 9 guys. 1-1 home. It's above the letters, 2-1. This is the 3rd pitcher of the game for the Larks. Jose Velasquez got the start, went 4 innings, and then blew through the last 2. And they did rule that Cam Pearson error as a hit, and I always want to, you always want to see a no-hitter, and I'm not sure about that one. I thought that one was an error, but it'll look better on Cam's statistics if it's not. So we'll go 2-2 with 1 away and the bases empty here in the top half of the 7th inning. The Larks score in the bottom half and keep the Cougars scoreless in the top half. Game will be over after 7. Swing and a miss. Castellucci strikes out his 13th batter of the season, and that is strikeout number 6 today for the Larks pitching staff. Great pitch. Got the crowd fired up. There's 2 away now in the top of the 7th. Castellucci's last outing was against OKC. He went 2 innings in relief, allowed a hit, and struck out 2 guys, walking 2, no earned runs. All of his outings have been in relief this season. His longest outing was 3 1/3 against the Cannons. Since then, it's been mostly 1 inning outings. He's thrown 3 1-inning outings, 1 1 1/3, 1 1 2/3, and 1 2 inning outing. 1-0 will miss the zone here to the bottom of the order, Aiden Smith. Smith on the day 0 for 2 with a ground out to Hutchison and a strikeout against Jackson Blue. 2-0 home. Castellucci delivers a fastball off the plate, 3-0. Castellucci's senior year of high school, he won a game through 8 appearances, struck out 39 guys, and had an opponent batting average of .167. Faced 111 batters. 3-0. This one has some pop over the outside corner that Smith was taking. Smith, the second baseman from Highlands Ranch. The hitters count delivery again, same spot over the outside part of the plate. After 3 straight balls, we get 2 straight strikes from Castellucci. And he's already struck out 1 in this inning, so we can get number 2 on the payoff pitch. Get some chalk on his hands and then get back on the mound. Castellucci sports that number 1 jersey and will deliver the payoff pitch. This one is at the head of Smith. He ducks under it and will take first base. That's the 6th walk the Larks have allowed today. Castellucci walks his 17th of the season. And Smith is aboard for the 16th time this season on base on balls. This delivery from Castellucci above the letters to Duhan. Got guys up in the pen for Hayes. And under the lights, tough to see who it is from here. Duhan at the plate, he is 0 for 2 with the ground out, and then he reached on an error. He also walked. He's gotten to third base 2 times and been left there 2 times. The bases were loaded in this last inning, and then Zach Henry made a beautiful play in center field to leave the bases loaded in what I thought was a hitless ball game. But there was a hit on the scoreboard. Larks have had 2 no-hitters taken into the last inning this season. So get no-hitter in the ninth, into the ninth inning in the first game of the season, and got 1 out of the ninth, and then allowed a couple hits. And then Jake Fitzgibbons took a hit, no-hitter into the 7th inning in the doubleheader that was scheduled to go 7 innings, and then out a hit. 3-1 count here from Castellucci. Larks will be looking for some additional arms as they head to the NBC, as Castellucci will walk his second straight batter, this one on 5 pitches. Smith to second, Duhan to first.
The right fielder, number 3, Landon Anderson.
So we had Anderson 0 for 3 today after going 3 for 5 yesterday. He drove in 5 runs yesterday and scored 4 times in that 8-4 victory. The Larks pitching staff has kept the Cougars off the scoreboard today. 2 on, 2 out. Castellucci delivers inside and almost caught the ribcage of Anderson. 1-0. Anderson from Brockwall, Texas, where center fielder Zach Henry's from, and is looking for his first hits. Do it for the Larks after the 7th inning stretch. Top of the order, Henry, Harrison, and Divis. It'll be the start of the Larks' 5th time through the order. 1 ball and a strike here with 2 away in the top of the 7th. Castellucci gets set, takes a deep breath, and delivers from the stretch. Line drive to the backstop, 1-2. Castellucci, no decisions so far in the season, and will not be picking up one today unless he gives up 9 earned runs. Actually, it would have to be 10 earned runs. That likely will not happen, especially with a guy as good as Castellucci on the mound. Gets set, waits on Anderson, gets a sign from Evans, the 1-2 home, fastball at the knees, and he strikes out his second batter of the inning. Anderson not happy with the call, and the Larks leave 2 aboard in the 7th and keep the Cougars off the board again as we go to the 7th inning stretch here at Hayes. Shelley returns to the mound for the 8th inning and will face off against Zach Henry. Henry on the day, 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and a walk. He scored 2 times and driven in a run. Has a 1-1 count here against Shelley. Shelley faced one batter in the last inning and got the out. It's a strikeout against Tyler Palmer. 1-1, he misses inside. And Henry dodges it. 2-1. Henry loses his bat, and it goes off the top of the Cougars dugout. The Larks got to be leading the league in lost bats. It hits off the roof and rolls into out-of-play territory. So Jeremiah Scott brings it back to Henry, and Pearson will bring Henry some pine tar. Count stands at 2-2. Game Changer shows from the Hayes Larks that this is Joshua Torrance, but I don't have that guy on my roster, so once again, whoever's doing the Game Changer has been very much missing this season. We'll get a payoff pitch here from Shelley with Henry at the dish. It's on its way and above the letters, and Henry is aboard for the second straight time on a walk. He's been aboard 4 straight times after going to 0 for 1 in the first.
The second baseman, Cam Harrison.
Henry has stolen 4 bases today. That's what Game Changer says, but again, that's incorrect. Surprise. He's stolen 3 today. They gave him 1 on the pass ball. They ruled it as a stolen base. This one, Pearson dodges it, thought it was going to hit him in the head, but it caught the high inside corner. We'll go 0-1 to Cam. Henry leads the team in stolen bases. He has 24 this season. And is getting a lead at first. He holds up. The delivery to Pearson runs outside. 1 ball and a strike here to the Fort Hays second baseman. Pearson 0 for 2 in his last at-bats after starting out 2 for 2 with a single and a double. He drove in a run in the second and scored in each of the first 2 innings. This one will miss inside. 2-1. Henry back in head first safely. Shelley will put his focus now on Pearson. Henry's already scored 2 different times today. And holds up on this pitch as it's a fastball inside to Pearson. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Cam. This is Cam's second year with the Larks. Last year for the Hayes Larks, he went .344 with his batting average. He had 44 hits. That led the team. Sends a drive to deep right field. And it is going to be a home run to walk off the game. Larks will run rule the Cougars, their 8th run rule of the season. They win it 11-0, as that is an 11-run lead. Cougars stay on the field. I'm not sure they realize the run rule, but now they do. We'll celebrate with Cam. It's the Larks' second walk-off home run of the season. The other one came from Grant Schmidt. Back against the Cannons. He was the first batter at the bottom of the 9th in a tie game. And the Larks will win it here. Pearson drives in his second and third run of the game and scores his third run of the game as he picks up his second home run of the season after having 5 last year. Henry scores his 3rd run, and the Larks score 11 runs. So it would have been a no-hitter had there not been that controversial call on the single that was allowed by Cam. Pearson off the bat at Duhan. Larks So, tough call right there. But the Larks still win 11-0 against the Denver Cougars. Velasquez wins his 5th game of the season. He's undefeated. After Blue comes in, throws 2 innings in relief. Castellucci throws 1, and we ended in 7. Larks now have 45 home runs on the year. Let's check out how this upcoming schedule looks. Larks have just 3 games left on the season tomorrow against the Cougars. First pitch at 7 p.m. They'll have Monday off, and then 2 games against the Game Day Saints. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. First pitch at 7 p.m. against the Denver Cougars for Game 3. It's going to decide who wins the series. Larks advance to 27-5. They won 15 of their last 16. Cougars fall to 10-18. We'll see you tomorrow night. First pitch at 7 p.m. Central Time. This has been Carson Ackerman on Larks Network. Thank you for tuning in, and good night.